Have you been to the area's premier radio-controlled hobby shop and raceway? Underground Raceway and Hobbies in Great Northern Mall has 2 indoor tracks for racing at every experience level. Don't have your own car? No problem. You can rent one from us. When you're ready to get your own, we've got an on-site hobby shop with everything you need, including all the popular brands. Underground Raceway and Hobbies has kits for land, sea, and air. Cars, boats, planes, you name it. Come see us next to Dick's in the Great Northern Mall in Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotoOption Supercross. From Mattawan, Michigan, riding for Phil's Ski and Snowboard, number 78, Jacob Hubbard. From Tampa, Florida, riding for Underground RC, number 5, Tyler Lang. From Scottsdale, Arizona, riding for Panini Motorsports, number 51, Payson Johnson. From Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, riding for Adept Creative Co., number 16, Logan Leitzel. From Monterey, Tennessee, riding for Phil's Ski and Snowboard, number 86, Tyler Shields. From Warner Robins, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports, 2020 Supercross champion, number 18, Jeremy Siebold. From Dallas, Texas, riding for Duncan Racing, number 28, Trevor Burns. From Shawnigan Lake, Canada, riding for Panini Motorsports, number 24, Colby Eaglin. From Costa Mesa, California, riding for Phil's Ski and Snowboard, your defending Supercross champion, number 1, Braden Carter. From France, riding for Panini Motorsports, 2018 Supercross champion, and your current points leader, number 7, Alexis Leclerc. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into round 7 of the 2022 MotoOption Supercross Series live here on Start Your Systems. We are in Minneapolis for the kickoff of the 250 East Championship in the 7th round of the 450 Supercross Championship here in MotoOption Supercross. My name is Kellen Brower, and I'm going to be bringing you guys all the action here tonight as we get ready to drop the gate here in Minneapolis. It's always a fantastic racetrack to watch, and it's going to be a little bit more interesting tonight because it's a very tight and compact racetrack. A lot of back and forth on this racetrack, but we'll get into that. Of course, what we want to talk about is the start of this 250 SX East Championship and who is going up against each other in this 250 East Championship, because we just saw the 250 West guys for 6 weeks, and now we're about to see a whole cast of fresh faces racing in this 250 East division. So let's introduce you guys to some of these guys right here as we take a look at our qualifying times for the 250 SX East class here tonight. Nathan Prynne, the number 12 machine, going fastest at a 50.304 ahead of Tanner Rogers, Kevin Frazaka, Bryce Whelan, and Johnny Poddenai. So a Irishman that I have not heard of before. Looks like he is showing up and racing here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Tyron Tomic in the mix as well. Tharp, McIntosh, Heilman, and Fitzpatrick inside of the top 10. And remember, we take 40 riders through, so you got to go down to Ryan Fleming there on a 52-1 to see who is going to make it through. And that's kind of crazy. There is only 1.8 seconds between the fast 40 right now in this 250 class. That is incredible. How many guys did we actually have run laps? So 65 guys ran laps. That is quite incredible in this 250 East division. If we jump over to the 450 class real quick and talk about what's going on here, no surprise to see Payson Johnson has qualified fastest here tonight, as he has done so for the last 3 weeks. But Braden Carter is right on his heels there. 48.5 for both riders. A 48.531, though, gets it for Johnson. Trevor Burns, Colby Eaglin, Luke Sullivan rounding out our top 5. Good to see Luke Sullivan. He moved up last week to the 450 class. He has now foregone his chances in this 250 West Championship to try to win the title, and he's just going to go 450s full time by the looks of it. Same for Daniel Mills, but we got Matthias Janis, Jack Haley, Nick Sellen, Rasmus Balzer, another fast 250 guy moving up this week. And of course, Alexis Leclerc, the number 7 machine down there, 11th fastest in qualifying. Let's talk about these standings, though, because there was a change of hands, and I apologize. The opening ceremonies are a little bit off this week. Braden Carter taking the championship lead back away from Alexis Leclerc last week with the victory at Anaheim 3. Now pulls to a 1-point advantage in this championship as we head east. And this is going to get very interesting as we get into more of these middle swing rounds, the football stadiums, of course, and then the big outdoor stadiums like Daytona and Atlanta Motor Speedway. Going to throw some of the curveballs in the direction of this championship. Colby Eaglin, of course, he's still right in the mix there at 13 down. The rest of the field kind of separating a little bit with Johnson and Lang rounding out your top 5. But this front 3 has been very interesting in the last couple of weeks to see how it all kind of shapes out. Now Carter has the red plate again. We'll see what he can do. We don't need to look at the 250 West standings because they are not racing here tonight. So let's jump back in the server and take a look at what's going on. In fact, I haven't got into the server yet, so I should probably do so now. But a big shout out to Tanner Bauman for the $1.99 donation. Says, let's go Cade Pinner, bud. I'm not sure what my game is doing right now. It's having an aneurysm by the looks of it. Ooh, my game might have just crashed. It did. Rest in peace. Let's go ahead and bust it open again real quick. And get in the server. Server was being weird earlier, so I hope that they've got it dialed in. And I just got a message from Sean Klein, who is one of kind of the fastest guys that we've had in MotoOption Supercross in the last few years in the 250 class. He was second in the 250 Outdoor Championship in 2018 and 19, I believe, in back-to-back years. He has not made it through in the Fast 40 tonight, so he will not be racing Minneapolis tonight. And he messaged me and said, turns out 2 seconds off isn't making top 40 anymore. And yes, that is the truth. 1.8 seconds between first and 40th. That is quite incredible. Well, if you didn't see the track map earlier on here tonight when we were showing off the track right at the beginning of the stream, I'll take you guys through a quick spin as much as I can. A really short start straight into a tight first corner, and then you're going to go double, triple into this berm right here. Then a long rhythm section. These guys are going to triple out of this corner, triple again, and triple one last time. They might bust a quad single into this corner depending on how frisky they're feeling. Triple or double single through this corner. I'm going to go double single just so I don't crash. And then an interesting little kind of like small whoop section into a dragon's back that takes you back down the start straightaway here. Like I said, very short start straightaway. Tonight, little double leads you into the finish line double. Going to land off that one, get into this bowl corner. A lot of bowl corners to set up for. Then another short set of whoops. There's only 2 sets of whoops, and they're both really short here in Minneapolis. I think that's 7 in that set and 5 in the other set. Back across the start straight, you're going to see guys coming through this corner, tripling out right here. Kind of jumping across the start straight and then checking up to go on-off on these step-on, step-offs right here. Out of this corner again, step-on, step-off. Back through the first turn complex, and that is a lap here in Minneapolis for round 7 of MotoOption Supercross. It's going to be a very interesting track to see how it races because we only have that one long rhythm section. The rest of the track is kind of tight and twisty, kind of folds back on itself a little bit. And I feel like it's going to set up a lot of good block passing, but it also might set up a couple situations where guys can't pass either because the corners come up a little bit too fast. We don't have very long straightaways to set up block passing. And one of the long lanes on the track is the whoop section into the Supercross triple after this finish line jump, but it's into a 90-degree corner, so there's not really an opportunity there for guys to get a drive down this straightaway right here before the Supercross triple, set up into this corner and make a pass unless you're able to get down to the inside perhaps and square someone off coming across the start straight. This is also going to be an interesting talking point. There's actually a little raised lip about maybe 7-8 feet out of the gate that these guys, just about by the time they'd be clicking up a gear, whether they start in first or second, they're going to be dropping off this thing, and it's going to be interesting to see who can get that power down and then get on the brakes early still to get to the inside of this first corner. I'm imagining a lot of guys will check up and go double after rolling out of the first corner, and then like I said, a couple options through here. You can triple in right here. I'm going to try to go triple quad. I went a little long on the triple that I wanted to do right there. Guess maybe triple quad is also another an opportunity that we could see out of the corner. Go 3-4. But yeah, just about getting ready to drop the gate here. They have their heat races getting ready to get lined up, and good to see a lively chat already. Over 250 of you guys. Mick Burt says, 56-year-old ass dude come here watching from Australia. Came across this a few months ago on YouTube and started following. I'm enjoying this as much as the real rounds, and I've never been a gamer. That is awesome. That's really cool to hear, actually, Mick, and glad to have you here. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. We try to put on a pretty fun little show here at MotoOption Supercross. If you're new to MotoOption Supercross and you don't know much about this game that we're playing in is called MX Simulator. It's been out since 2008, so it's kind of a little long in the tooth these days, and not many people seem to think it's one of the best current simulation games when you compare it to MX bikes as well. But we've been racing MotoOption Supercross for 13 years in this game. We've had many gamers come through, and these are gamers playing from all around the world. This is not a LAN-connected event where everybody's sitting in one area playing against each other. These are players in France, players in Ireland, players in Australia, and of course a lot from the US, all competing and trying to be the best in the world at this game that we look here on screen, MX Simulator. So it's a really cool experience. I was fortunate enough to be pro in the game from 2012 to 2017, and then hung up the old controller to go to this broadcasting stuff, and have had a blast with it since. So hopefully we put on a good show for you guys, and yeah, getting ready to drop the gate here soon for MotoOption Supercross from Minneapolis. Round 7 of this 450 championship, but it's round 1 of the 250 championship. And there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to come into this championship hopeful to contend for the title. I think Arguably the favorite will have to be your fastest qualifier, Nathan Prin, the number 12 machine on that Panini Motorsports Yamaha, coming in. Previous race winner here in MotoOption Supercross in the 250 division, actually contended for the title a little bit ways through last year in that 250 East Championship when we were doing kind of the triple header rounds each week and stuff along those lines. And he knows how to get it done. He knows how to win these races, and a lot of his fellow competitors do not. They are a little bit more fresh-faced to the scene. Of course, a guy like Tanner Rogers, he's been around the scene for a long time as well, more of a cagey veteran of the game, but hasn't won as much as Prin has of recently. So going to be interesting to see kind of who establishes themselves early in this championship, comes home as the winner at the opening round. As we look through our 250 East Heat 1 lineup real quick. Actually want to get these up on the screen, so that we have it and you guys know what we're watching. And you guys can briefly check out my sweet SYS Racing Honda. There we go, back in the server. All right, Bryce Whelan, John Heilman, Trevin Thompson, Brett Thomas, Reno Brennan, Lane Wofford, Elliott Person, Carson West, Owen Hillman, Nick Tomasunis, Tyler Bartlett, Seth Garrett, Tyron Tomich, Rogan McIntosh, Cade Matherly, everybody's favorite recent sim YouTuber, up in the mix, running the 38. Good to see him here tonight. Caden's back on the 41. Dale Mullins on the 231. And those are going to be the 20 riders that go to the gate here for 250 East, Heat number 1. Finally getting the gate dropped on their championship this year. And, of course, they will go 6 minutes plus that single lap. And the top 9 riders will transfer through to the main event. All right, let's get those revs up and drop the gate in this 250 East division. That 30 card will turn sideways. Our man will run off the track, and let's see who we're going to watch here on the start. Want to try to find someone a little bit more middle, maybe Matherly there on the 38 up the inside. We always got to watch for Whelan. The 45 machine gets great starts. Here we go, 250 East action in Minneapolis. Matherly gets swallowed up into the first corner, and indeed it is the 45 of Bryce Whelan on that field ski and snowboard Honda, who will rip the whole shot in this one. He's got the number 12 of Nathan Prin right behind him. Actually looks like he has swapped over to the Underground RC program. Was going to ride for Panini Motorsports this year, but moves over to the Suzuki team. So your fastest qualifier finds his way in this heat race out in second place early on as he chases Whelan over this tricky Dragon's back. Whelan's actually going to land in those Underground RC tough blocks, but a nice save by the Canadian, and he will continue on to lead lap number 1. Prin right there in tow behind him. In and out of the bowl corner after the finish line jump, and these whoops, albeit a little bit small, in terms of length, are huge in terms of size. They are big, spread apart, and likely going to cause these 250 guys a little bit of havoc here tonight. Look at Print, option line 2-3 up the inside, and didn't really lose all too much time on Whelan. They're starting to open up a bit of a gap. I believe it actually is Matherly back there in third place as the rest of the field kind of jockeys for some early positions. Whelan holding steady. Look at Prin, going to try to sneak up the inside. Go 2-1 up to the inside again. Trying to make that line work, but not quite close enough just to get a wheel in there on Whelan. No pun intended just yet. So they will continue on for yet another lap, but the battle is certainly on at the front of this one. Let's see if Prin can get a drive in the whoops right here. Whelan's actually going to lay it down. He's going to stay on the machine as he scurries off the side of the racetrack, but Prin takes over the race lead as Whelan rejoins and cuts the track a little bit right there as well. So it's Carson West, who actually has moved up to third place behind him. The 486 iSpec Honda machine with Trevin Thompson, limited decal Husqvarna right behind him on the 82. John Heilman, the number 44 Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda, moves up into the top 5 with Tyron Tomich on the Connect Visual number 42 Suzuki in 6th place. 7th for the Brit, Owen Hillman on the Panini Motorsports number 170. 8th for Lane Wofford on the Boots House. Looks like the number 27 there. And Nick Tomasunis wrapping up our final transfer position as it runs on the MXSoccer.com number 69. But he's going to make a pass right there. Wofford, a mistake. It's going to allow, that's the 60 of McIntosh to get into the mix. Rogan McIntosh moves into the final transfer spot. So it's already a change of hands for this bubble position early on in this heat race for the 250 East heat number 1. McIntosh shorts the triple a little bit there. We're just about to get to the halfway mark, almost to the 3-minute point of this race. And really, aside from our race leader, Nathan Prynn, it is still very close. Prynn going the other way in the background there, heading into the Dragon's Back. But you can see second going down the rhythm lane at the bottom of your screen, just ahead of these guys. So basically second back to our transfer spot right here. Is this going to change hands again? No, Wofford lands on McIntosh's back, and then McIntosh actually goes down himself, and he gets landed on. A couple other riders pile in. That will allow Matherly through into P9. So the 38 Stance Honda shoots his way into the final transfer spot, but then he almost loops out as well. So everybody having a little bit of problems establishing some position here, as Matherly now moves into that final transfer spot and has a bit of a gap going back to Tyler Bartlett. Oh, riders down. John Heilman is down with Owen Hillman before the Supercross triple. A couple more riders go by, so Bartlett will shoot to 8th. Wofford up into the final transfer spot in 9th as Heilman remounts behind these guys. Oh, Heilman almost through the front door there. So the 44 machine going to collect himself and maybe need to change his britches when he gets back to the semi after this one. Trying to go after Wofford for this final transfer spot. And there's not too much hierarchy in terms of teams or anything like that in this game, but the Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda program is more or less about as factory as it gets in this game. So if you see a rider like Heilman who's on that program, not in a transfer spot, there's definitely some added pressure there to make it do well for the team, and he's going to try to run down Wofford ahead of him. Bartlett still holds on to 8th as we sneak back up to the front and see what's going on. It's still the Frenchman, Nathan Prynn, on the Underground RC number 12 Suzuki. See how he's holding things on out front. A little short there on the triple in, but smooth as butter through the rest of the section, as we have come to expect out of the lightning fast Frenchman. Just so calculated and really just doesn't often put a foot wrong. That's one of his strong suits, is that he's able to do fast laps consistently. It's not one of those things that is a strong suit of everybody, but Prynn burst onto the scene the last couple of years and has really done a terrific job of just getting out front and trying to battle for wins as much as possible. And it's led him to quite a few race victories in this 250 Supercross class and the 250 National class, as he slides it into the corner right there. Nice job of saving that one. Has a good gap back to Whelan. Still Trevor Thompson there in 3rd place, with Tomic now up to 4th. Tomasunis has climbed all the way into 5th, with Carson West now slipping back to 6th. Matherly up to 7th, with Bartlett still 8th, and now Heilman moves into the final transfer spot in 9th. So looks like the 27 machine of Wofford has gone backwards. Owen Hillman now finds his way into 10th around Wofford as well, and Dale Mullins trying to sneak into the picture. Oh, Mullins into Wofford and puts the 27 machine on the ground. Dale Mullins out of Australia mentioned this not being a LAN event. And every time you have someone from Australia, New Zealand, or really anybody that's not from the U.S., there's a little bit of lag involved. It's a little more so, though, for those Australian riders. And you saw it right there. There wasn't much contact between himself and Wofford, but just enough to put him on the ground. And now with Hillman trying to close up on Heilman, they're both catching Bartlett. This is kind of getting interesting in a battle for 8th, but of course only 2 of these guys would go through to the main event of the 3 riders that we have on screen right here. So Heilman kind of ending up in a bit of a sandwich here as he works up into a battle with Bartlett, having to deal with the pressure from Owen Hillman behind, and now Heilman shorts early in the rhythm section. Nice job to collect it, but loses a little bit more ground, and Hillman is really lurking right there. Let's see if the British rider on the 170 Panini Motorsports Yamaha can get it done. Couple of factory level programs in this game going at it for the final transfer spot battle here between the Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda. And oh, that is going to be Bartlett laying it down in the whoops. That'll cost him a transfer spot. Hillman does make the pass on Heilman, but they're both in transfer now as we go back to our race leader. 1 turn to go. And starting out his championship the exact way he hoped to. Fastest qualifier, heat race victory. Nathan Prynn takes it in 250 Heat 1. So Whelan looks like he'll finish this one up in second place. Trevin Thompson and Tyron Tomic going to battle it out for third into the final corner. Some contact. Rubbin is racing into the last turn, but Tomic gets it done to go into third place. Thomas Tunis will end up in fifth with Carson West sixth, Matherly seventh, Hillman eighth, and Heilman bringing it through into the final turn in P9. So there is your transfer spots. We'll wait for cuts to confirm. Rogan McIntosh takes his Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda to the LCQ, along with Dale Mullins, Lane Wofford, Brett Thomas, Tyler Bartlett, Reno Brennan, Caden Speck, Cole Gress. The rider went through right there. That was Jason Stubbs, Elliot Person, and Seth Garrett not making it through either. We'll wait for those cuts to confirm that Heilman has made it. If you're new to MotoOption Supercross cuts or the penalty system applied post-race, talk about it in a second after we make sure nobody got any penalties, as Nathan Prynne takes a win. But it's essentially a penalty system that is applied after the race based on how many tough blocks or sections of the track that you spent off the racetrack and gained an advantage from section to section. There's kind of invisible timing gates. You can see them if you open editor, but they're invisible to us just looking here on screen. And you have to go through each one of those timing gates every single lap. If you skip a timing gate or two and jump ahead a gate or two, you will get penalized the difference that you gained essentially from gate to gate based on standard deviation, and that penalty is applied to your post-race total time. Hence why we always say we got to wait and see whether or not cuts change the situation. All right, 250 Heat 2 coming up next. Back in studio, Kellen Brower bringing you guys the action here at round 7 of MotoOption Supercross in MX Simulator from Minneapolis. Hopefully you guys are having a good night so far wherever you are, and of course want to give a quick shout out to Ride Moto for a $4.99 donation. Says, thanks for all the entertaining Wednesday nights. Well, thank you for tuning in and watching the race. It makes it a lot more fun when we got a lively chat, hanging out and having a good time watching the races and connecting with each other as well. Of course, everybody that's here watching these races is a moto fan in some shape or form. You're not going to watch a video game motocross race if you aren't into motocross in some shape or form. So it's awesome to have you guys hanging out and chat, kind of connecting with each other. Maybe you guys can make some friends, hang out in some Discord servers if you have any questions as well. If I'm not able to answer any questions that you have either about the game or anything else that we can help you with, we'd be happy to have you ask it in chat, and I'm sure the chat people would also be kind enough to help because we're all a bit of a community here, right? The motocross community coming together, watching some virtual racing on this fine Wednesday evening, getting ready for the Minneapolis Supercross this weekend in real life. A lot of fun to be had there with the 250 East Championship kicking off there. A lot of storylines with Jet Lawrence, Jeremy Martin, Austin Faulkner, Cameron McAdoo. Just so many guys that can go out there and win this championship. So going to be a lot of fun to cover that. And yeah, just kicking it off with a little bit of Wednesday virtual racing here in MX Simulator. All right, let's see what I'm missing out in chat. Anybody have something for me? Get a Disco Rico and then see what's going on in the chat. Matt Edwards feels as though I should be a commentator for the real race. That's very kind of you. Hopefully one day. Be a lot of fun for sure. Oh, Trevin Thompson just made his first ever main event. That's awesome. Good for you, buddy. Who do I think is winning IRL? Whoever leads every single lap of the race. I don't know. I honestly don't have time to stream AMs. I'm very, very busy, and AMs are obviously on the weekends. I normally travel to the races on the weekends, so just don't have time, unfortunately. You were banned from the RF Discord because my account got hacked, but I got it back. Can you unban me? I don't have the ability in the Race Vector Discord to do that. I'm listed on the admins, but quite honestly, I'm just there, I guess, because of my media side of it. So I'm sorry, I can't help you there. But yeah. What East Coast rounds am I going to? I'm on the fence for Dallas right now. I might go to Daytona, but I am going to Detroit. And then after that, Seattle, Salt Lake, and maybe one other, but not too many East Coast rounds for me. We already got guys out there. But here we go, 250 East Heat number 2, getting ready to drop the gate again here in Minneapolis. The 29 of Gers is going to lead him into the corner, but he almost laid it down. Who's up the inside? The 43 there of Trent Adams almost snuck through, but it will be Ethan Gerst. Panini Motorsports number 29 machine taking the whole shot. And checking up behind him there, Adams is going to short the triple mid-rhythm allows the 32 of Frank Jackson through. Oh, Jackson crosses up and Trent Adams gets into him and Adams goes down. So Jackson with a little slide out. Oh, and then some more contact off the Dragon's back in the background. So they're all going to chase Ethan Gerst at the end of the first lap. It's Benjamin Saves moving into second place and moving on to the atom.com gas program this week. Adam Holm, who runs that atom.com program, actually announced earlier this week that he has parted ways with Seth Shirley and Brandon Nygren. So a couple of faces that have become really synonymous with that atom.com gas racing program. Not on the team anymore. Of course, we've seen them racing all the West Coast 250 rounds, but Holm kind of suffices with their exits by picking up Benjamin Saves here on the number 89 machine. So cool to see a new face at a new place here. Saves jumps off the track, but we certainly know the 89 machine knows how to get it done. And we'll see if he can run down Ethan Gerst for the race lead. Tanner Rogers, here's one of those veteran riders that we were talking about earlier tonight. Rogers probably is the current active 250 rider that won a race the longest ago, aside I guess maybe from Daniel Mills. But Rogers, your winner at the 2016 Toronto Supercross in the 250 class back then, was his first career main event victory, and he has since won a couple races since then, but obviously would like to come into this championship thinking he is a title contender and a threat alongside the likes of Nathan Prynne, Ethan Gerst, and the others. So he'll try to run down Benjamin Saves, Gerst out front. Make something happen as we go back to fourth place. Jaden Wilson, number 25, Panini Motorsports effort out here. Finds his way up into fourth. We got a rider down. That is Saves down on the start straight. Looks like he got the Dragons back all wrong, and he is going to slide back to fifth place. Brandon Holmes also went by on the 481 Undefined Lifestyle.com Husqvarna. And we saw Holmes winning a 450 heat race last week at Anaheim as he got ready for this 250 East Championship. So he looks like he's coming in strong as well. It is Frank Jackson now 6th with Robert Wilson in P7. Braden Tharp down in 8th. Trent Adams has clawed his way back into 9th after that early fall, as we should expect from the 43 machine. A couple of Adept Creative Code teammates here on the Yamahas. The 53 of Tharp and the 43 of Trent Adams going at it here for 8th spot. Both are in a transfer spot, so I don't want to do anything too stupid. Like Tharp might actually make a pass here on Robert Wilson as he pulls alongside the 46 on the Dragon's back, but not quite close enough just yet. So he'll funnel in behind him. Up and over that finish line jump, and we are now 3.5 minutes down. 2.5 minutes plus that lap left to go in 250 East. Heat number 2 is, oh my goodness, what a save by Braden Tharp. He was crashing for at least half of that whoop section and pulled it together to somehow just check up before the Supercross triple and not go down instead. Retains 9th spot, loses a position to his teammate Adams, who goes up into 8th. And now he's going after Robert Wilson down the inside on this jump as well. Look at this. Up into 7th. Wilson squares it off. But I don't think he's going to have the opportunity. Well, maybe so. Trying to get a nose back down the inside in this corner. But it will check up and just back out of the challenge anyway. And that is going to allow the 53 there of Tharp to make it by. They've caught up to Frank Jackson and Jaden Wilson. Wilson just made a mistake. He's going to have to jump back on before this finish line double. Gets on right beside Frank Jackson, but just ahead of Trent Adams as they head into the whoop section yet again. Oh, great battle here. Up and over the Supercross triple. Jackson shuts the door on Wilson. Adams right there behind the 25 machine. Oh, Adams down the inside. What a block pass on Jaden Wilson, and clean as well. That definitely could have got a little bad there as Brandon Holmes was down. Jaden Wilson gets caught up in the corner. Let's see if he gets it turned around in time. Here comes Tristan Powell on the 139 trying to move into the final transfer spot. Or no, actually, excuse me, he goes up to 8th. Wilson back to 9th, so Robert Wilson has slipped out of a transfer spot. Seth Carr, Kevin Frazaka, Neil Fitzpatrick, Brett Powers, Johnny Podnai, who is your 5th fastest qualifier for Underground RC, is way back here. And apologies if anybody on his team or knows him, If I'm mispronouncing his last name, please let me know in advance. I honestly have never seen his name before in competition, so normally I get a chance to ask these guys in Discord or something, but I didn't even know he was going to race. So my apologies if I'm saying it wrong. Please let me know. Back to our race leader, though. He's about to check in out front and just missed the timer this time by, but he is going to deal with some pressure here rather soon from Tanner Rogers. Go on board with Rogers here for a lap of 51.4. That's time by for the 49 machine. And time is now going to expire as we just now hit 6 minutes. So white flag will come out next time by. Oh, Rogers! Front end tuck over the top of that rut right there, so he'll lose touch with our race leader, Ethan Gerst, but he'll settle into second place and still be comfortably so in that position. 4.5 seconds now back of Gerst. Saves Frank Jackson and Trent Adams now inside of the top 5. Brandon Holmes runs in 6th place, but he's got Jaden Wilson right behind him. Wilson going to go a little bit longer on the start straight, might go up the inside, gets into the back of Holmes and lays it down. So back to 7th, there's Jaden Wilson. Tristan Powell still in 8th. Braden Tharp runs in 9th. And a bit of a gap back to Robert Wilson in 10th with Seth Carr right behind him. We'll keep an eye on those transfer battles. But back to our race leader, Ethan Gerst. Definitely expected to be one of those guys right in the thick of this title hunt throughout the 2022 250 East Championship season. And just like his counterpart there on the number 12 machine in 250 heat number 1, Gerst is looking to start things off right on the right foot here tonight in Minneapolis with a heat race victory. Certainly will set him up with a good gate pick, and gate pick appears to be pretty crucial here tonight with that short start straight. Need to get a good launch and need to get a good line to control into the first corner. Gerst did just that in this heat race, and he will take the win here in 250 heat 2. Rogers crosses second. Oh, Saves is down in 3rd. Can he get it started in time? No. Frank Jackson on the 32 goes by. Jackson will bring it through into the final turn to solidify that 3rd position. Saves in 4th. Trent Adams made it all the way up into 5th spot. Brandon Holmes now 6th. Tristan Powell up in 7th. Got a rider trying to get down the inside in the last turn there, but that is a lapped rider. Jaden Wilson and Robert Wilson coming into the line. Battle the Wilsons for 8th. They will both go through, though, as they have transferred to the main event. Braden Tharp misses out, as does Seth Carr. So there's a couple names that will certainly want to go through out of that LCQ. Kevin Frizaka, Neil Fitzpatrick on the 30. Gets T-boned by Brett Powers on the 540 there. Old Donut MX having a bit of fun out there. Talon Zollers, Johnny Podney, Austin Bear, Noah McLaughlin, Roy Mitchell, Ryan Fleming also going to the LCQ. Let's see if anything changed after cuts. They did not. Gerst taking the win here in 250 heat number 2. Alrighty. Now it's time for the big boys here in Minneapolis. 450 heat number 1 coming up next. See the likes of new championship leader Braden Carter, Alexis Leclerc, Colby Eaglin, Payson Johnson, just to name a few. And going to be interesting to see how the 450 guys tackle this track, because there's not a lot of difference makers, it seems like, in the 250 class so far that anybody's doing different or hitting faster or harder. So can the 450s find something that's a difference maker? I'm having a tough time thinking about it. Maybe they can go 3-4-4 in the long rhythm section, but even that seems like you'd be in the air forever off the second 4. It's a peaky takeoff. So we'll see. We'll see what the 450 guys can do. Again, great to have all you guys with us here tonight. Hopefully you guys are having a lovely evening. Over 340 live viewers watching MotoOption Supercross. Hopefully you're having a good time. Andrew Peakman says, how much does RacerX pay? That is private information. I get paid well, though. Honestly, for someone who makes a living talking about dirt bikes and motocross and stuff like that, I can't complain with the salary that I have. I work hard, but you know what? A lot of people work hard, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, pretty happy with my job, pretty happy with what I make, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. I definitely make more than minimum wage, though, as RJ Ellie explains. Lachlan Smith says, Kellen, thanks for all the Thursday afternoons in Australia. Absolutely. Hopefully all of my Aussie fans are still hanging in there having a good time. It's, probably around, midday for you guys? Like noon right now? Noon or 1 p.m.? So hopefully you got yourself a good lunch and maybe kick back a few early brewskis if you're of age. Or not. I mean, I don't know. Australia's a little loose sometimes. All right. Magnus OB says, let's go Donut. Donut's going to go to the LCQ. Poop SX for the LCQ dub. Payson was doing 3-4-5 in the second section. 3-4-5. Is there even that many jumps in that section? 3, 3, 3, 2 would be 11 jumps. 3, 4, 5. So it's an even number. I am confusion. 3, 4, 5. Math. That's 12. So yeah, I have to go 3, 4, 4 in that section, not 3, 4, 5. Look, I'll try to do it right now myself. I'll probably case the bejesus out of the 4. Oh, I was pretty close. I was closer than I expected. All right, who's in this 450 race that we can take a look at? Aaron Rockefeller, Brandon Nygren, Alec Horn, Jay Turner, Trevor Burns, Dylan Smith, Nick Sellen, Ethan Parks, Jeremy Smith, Dakota French, Austin Eklund, Adam Holm, Luke Sullivan, Chase Blakely, Alexis Leclerc, Casey Ohlert, Casey Cochran. So there's a face that's moved up from this 250 West Championship leading position that Casey Cochran's in to now race in the 450 class here tonight. That'll be fun to see. All right. What's the best year to go back and watch for MX Sim, Motocross, and Supercross? 2018 outdoors. Watch the last 3 or 4 nationals of the year. It's incredible. All right, here we go. Time to drop the gate for the 450 class here in Minneapolis. The 30 car to sideways. The revs are up, and the gate is down. Cochran with a good start, but a typical great start from Leclerc. Everybody tucking inside. Johnson, whole shot. Payson Johnson picks it up from the inside. Leclerc trying to go inside in the second corner to take over second place. Might have just done so, but over top, Trevor Burns comes. And the 28 machine actually gets it through on that Duncan Racing Kawasaki. Into third now, Dylan Smith on the Jack Daniels Racing number 95. So Leclerc drops back to fourth with Casey Cochran right up there as well. Nick Sellen now moves into the top 5 as everybody finds some early form there. Excuse me. Trevor Burns now settling in behind Johnson as they head into the whoops on the first lap. Whoa, Johnson almost looped it out. Or a nice save there by the 51 machine. Johnson stepping on off very cleanly right there. These guys are just, I think, not going fast enough to quad into that corner. They made that lip into the corner for the quadas. Johnson goes down with the race lead. Burns goes by. Leclerc's through. Nick Sellen's by. There goes Cochran. The 17 of Adam Holm goes through. Ethan Parks and Dylan Smith also went by. So it looks like he will retain a transfer position, Will Johnson, but those crash problems that we talk about so many times with the 51 machine rearing their ugly head already in the heat race as Burnsy goes to the front on lap number 2. Leclerc is settling in right behind him. So he's not out of the woods just yet, is the Duncan Racing Kawasaki number 28 machine. Got a request for first person, so no better person to take a look at than Alexis Leclerc. A 50.5 first time through for the 2018 Supercross champion. Step on, off. Oh, Burns this absolute tank slapper back across the start straight, and Leclerc goes down. Oh my goodness, Trevor Burns way back and forth on that Kawasaki and went down, and Leclerc tried to avoid him, couldn't quite get out of the way in time. Johnson stood up in the corner again as Luke Sullivan, their teammate, now comes through. Boy, oh boy, that was a big old tank slapper out of Trevor Burns right there as now Leclerc cuts back inside. Johnson almost lands on the 7, goes up the inside of him to make the pass. Who's leading this thing now? It's Nick Sellen, the rider out of Germany on the JIBR.co number 97 KTM, leads us through on lap number 4. Adam Holm has moved up into second place. Ethan Parks now in third. Luke Sullivan up to fourth. Burns now fifth with Leclerc sixth. Dylan Smith seventh. Johnson eighth. And Alec Horn in ninth. Everybody knows the tail with Cochran and Jeremy Smith just behind these guys. So this is about to get real fun here. We'll see where it all kicks off in this group. Payson Johnson doing his big line right here. He's trying to go 3-4, but a little short on the triple in, so backs out of the challenge. And actually cases the triple into the corner. There's Luke Sullivan with a mistake on the 11. Kind of pushed back into this group, so Leclerc gains another spot. Sullivan into the inside of the track right there. Nice save for the 11, and Johnson takes advantage to go up the inside there of Dylan Smith on the 95. Smith trying to fight back over this finish line jump, but Johnson shuts the door into the corner. Look at how close everybody is in this 450 class, though. Oh, Johnson squares back across the track and has to go in and out of the start structure. Looks like he got the inside rut a little bit wrong right there. Now slips back to 12th position. It's right there behind. That is the 14 of Matthias Janis, who's right behind the 4 of Jeremy Smith. They are 10th and 11th, with Cochran now moving into the final transfer spot. Janis trying to get a nose there on Smith. Can't quite get it just yet. Dylan Smith short on the triple, and sending it into the back of Cochran. Quadding out there was Payson Johnson. So Cochran gets sent off the track by the 51. Everybody struggling here as back and forth we go. This is all kicking off. Go back to our race lead as that is about to kick off as well. Adam Holm has caught up to Nick Sellen. So the rider out of Germany out front, trying to hold off the charge from the number 17 of Adam Holm out of Orlando, Florida. Look at that line. Over table and then triple single into the corner. Interesting perspective there from Holm. I wonder if he just feels that staying low on that big single mid-rhythm is just a little bit more worth it. Trevor Burns is starting to get up into the mix here on that 28 Duncan Racing Kawasaki. And we're about to have a little battle here for second place. Look at Burns. Oh, he's going to try to square off Holm, but Holm read him like a book and cut to the inside of the corner. So now, as they have started battling each other, they're losing touch a little bit from Nick Sellen. And Leclerc is starting to sneak back into the fray as well. Ethan Parks back there. Looks like Luke Sullivan back there in sixth spot on the 11. And it's really anybody's heat race still, because we're not even yet at time. We still have 40 seconds left on the clock. And Leclerc trying to sneak up onto Trevor Burns. Adam Holm still doing his alternate line as they're all chasing Nick Sellen, who was a heat race winner last week, I believe, as well. I can't remember. I believe it was in the 450 class. So been getting those heat race dubs, trying to convert it into some main event speed. And he will still have 2 to go this time by. Time has not expired just yet. So 2 laps to go here in Minneapolis. And battle for second starting to brew yet again. Trevor Burns has caught up to Adam Holm. Looks like Leclerc losing touch a little bit. Here's Burns in the whoops, up and over the Supercross triple to the inside. Got it done. Nice line, Trevor Burns. Great drive through the whoops. And boy, is he looking feisty this year on that number 28 Kawasaki. Oh, look at that, just flicking it out coming into the corner. Now Leclerc working up to Adam Holm. Sullivan has gotten around Ethan Parks into 5th. Johnson's up to 6th. Jeremy Smith is now 7th. Parks has slipped back to 8th with Matthias Janis right there in P9. Casey Ohlert trying to sneak up is short on this jump there. That was Ethan Parks. Now slips back to 9th, so here comes Casey Ohlert on the 61 machine. And some of these guys that were in prime positions early on now sliding back like Parks. Ohlert trying to fight his way forward. Oh, Parks! Whoo! Slid out of the corner, but Ohlert goes by now. Ohlert goes down before the Supercross triple. Here comes Casey Cochran into the final transfer spot. Ethan Parks trying to fight back on him. And we'll see what this comes down to. Can Parks work his way around the current 250 West Championship leader for the final transfer spot? Leclerc just got into the back of Adam Holm going the other direction. As out front into the final corner comes Nick Sellen, but we'll stick with this transfer battle. Oh, Parks lays it down. Oh, Leclerc just got up with, I'm not sure who that is on the ground right there. It's a lapped rider. But Sellen takes the victory. 1.3 seconds ahead of Sullivan. Adam Holm comes across third. Burns fourth. Johnson fifth. Jeremy Smith in sixth. Janis seventh. Leclerc eighth. And Cochran will survive to take home ninth. Oh my. What a heat race that was. Parks ends up in 10th. Ullard slipped back to 11th. Brandon Nygren on his new Boots House Yamaha program will bring it home here in 12th. Alec Horn 13th. Caleb Hall 14th. Dakota French and Caleb Hall. Caleb Hall lighting up Dakota French for some reason to get 14th there. Chase Blakely will move to 15th. Smith's 16th there. 17th for French. 18th Jay Turner. Rockefeller and Eklund also didn't make it through out of this one either as cuts come in and everything stays the same. Nick Sellen taking the victory here yet again in 450 heat number 1. Well, that was certainly interesting. I just realized I forgot to bring my water in here. So that's feels bad, man. I'm a little thirsty right now. Thirsty for some action, really. This has been a fantastic night of racing so far. Seeing these 250 NSX East guys kick it off. And the 450 class has been fun so far as well with a very interesting heat race. Hey, Leclerc just got 8th. He is not going to have a good gate selection for the main event. We know he gets good starts, so he'll have to come from likely the outside of the box pretty far to make it happen. As Nick Sellen taking the victory in this one. Good to have everybody hanging out in chat. Like I mentioned, 370 some odd viewers of you guys right now. Great to have you guys all here. Is SYS a shared channel or your own? So I own the channel, but the idea of Start Your Systems was to make a like a media company centered around motorsports gaming, but motocross more specifically. So, I have a team of people there at SYS Racing that I would love for at any point they can upload content and send it to me, or I could give them access to upload it if they just want to upload it to the channel. Because the idea was always to have this channel be a multitude of contributors, not just me, and that's why I started it with Jeremy Hinners. We were both contributing there for about 3 years. Hinners moved on, so it's been kind of just me since then. But the point is, it's a gaming motocross media company where we would have a multitude of contributors someday. It's not quite to the point yet where I can, have full-time employees necessarily, but that's the goal. That's kind of the end goal, is to hire more people to create content. And one day we'll get there, hopefully. So. I say it's a collaborative effort, even though for right now it's kind of just me. But I always say we because to me it's a company, it's a business. It's not my thing. It's a Start Your Systems thing, right? So, it's kind of the synopsis of the company. But all right. How's everybody doing in chat? Let's see. Go grab your water, bro. We don't mind. I know. I'll text my wife. I'm sure she'll bring it for me. I love you, Jack Hurst. What's up, Deathwish 5442? How we doing tonight? I do this too. I do. Yeah. I'm embedded in motocross stuff. Absolutely. This is where I got my start, though. For anybody that's here watching me that is a fan of what I do at RacerXOnline.com, this is where I started. This sim is like my background. Raced professionally in the game for 5 years. I've been announcing it for over a decade. So, Racer X, it's kind of because of sim that I'm even there. I always wanted to go into motocross journalism. Like, I went to school for it, but this is where it all kind of started. Unfortunately, I'm not going to Minneapolis. We already have Jason Wygant going, but I might go to Dallas, might go to Daytona, and I will be in Detroit. So if anybody's going to Detroit, I'll see you there. Weege couldn't hook me up with a mini fridge. Hey, anybody that knows Weege knows he's cheap. So we out here, just we're doing it, How much for a JS7 jersey? I don't know. eBay might have some. Yeah, kind of how VMG was, but VMG was literally designed so that it was all contributor-based stuff. Like, yes, when I ran VMG, I uploaded stuff from myself, but the point with SYS is that we all collaboratively make content. At VMG, there was no collaboration. There was just random guy uploads a video, random guy uploads a video, random guy uploads a video. I would like it to one day be that there's like a team of 5 or 6 of us that we all are in videos together all the time. So not quite VMG level, but a good pull there for sure. All right, let's go back to our live screen. Thanks so much for the chat. As we get ready for 450 heat number 2, the board is sideways, and the gate is down in Minneapolis. A lot of contact and a lot of guys pushing wide allows Jacob Hubbard to get the hole shot. His teammate Braden Carter is going to come through in second, but Eagland with a little contact. Bump and run on Carter in the second corner. Going to move into second place. Looks like Carter's going to settle into that third place, no problem, after a couple guys went down behind him, and he's going to try to get Eagland back. Look at this. Oh, Eagland squares him off, though, as they come to the line. Bar-to-bar dualies and a front flip for our race leader, Hubbard, as he holds on out front. Oh, incredible. Well, Carter will actually get a little bit of a gap there established now on Eagland as he tries to go to the lead on his teammate and does so. Your championship leader and defending champion, Braden Carter, goes to the front here in 450 heat number 2. So getting the step-on, step-offs clean. There's that alternate line that we saw Holm taking. Hubbard actually taking it as well. So a couple of these 450 guys, maybe they just feel that's better. Get more drive to kind of push through the jumps. Triple out of the corner for all these guys as well. Some of the 250 guys really struggling to get that triple at the far end of the stadium. Not so much for these 450 guys. They got plenty of power in hand to get it over. And Hubbard dealing with pressure here from Colby Eagland. Eagland, 2-time winner this season. If you go back to Anaheim 2 and Glendale, rough week for him last week at Anaheim 3, though. So he's definitely looking for a rebound. This was not kind of the stereotypical Eagland ride that we've seen of late. Normally he gets good starts. Normally he runs consistent laps. And by the end of it, he's been on the podium at more races than he hasn't so far this year. Whoa, Eagland, a little bit of lag out of the corner. Just can't quite get... Oh, Carter down. I wonder what happened there. He must have cased the triple mid-rhythm, because that's a weird spot to land. It's basically on the takeoff of kind of the landing of that triple jump. Going to lose some positions as getting sideways onto the start straight right there was Chase Donovan. Donovan now gets going ahead of Ash Deering. Carter settles into 7th place. So teammate Wilcox right behind him in 8th, and Matt Cromie, another teammate of his, rounds out the transfer spots right now. Here comes your 2021 outdoor champion, Tyler Lang, trying to make his way into the mix. Oh, inside through the tough blocks on Cromie, but he'll get it done. That'll be a little bit questionable. I'm sure there will be some cuts applied post-race for Lang there. So he's going to have to go forward and try to make some more passes. Looks like Carter has gotten around Ash Deering. Oh, but he just went down again. So Carter stood up in the corner here. Wilcox gets around. And Carter getting going with Jack Haley just going by. Now going to be down in 13th place. He'll get up and go to 12th right away, but he's got some passes to make, does our defending champion. So this real quickly went from leading the race to very bad for Carter. Last week's winner at Anaheim 3 and your current points leader. Trying to get a drive in the whoops, trying to see is that. It's not Cromie, it's the 96 of Chris Post. Doesn't know how to spell his own name, or maybe just doing it on purpose. Crids Post. All right, so let's see what Carter can do here. Trying to work up to Chris Post and make the pass on the 96 machine, and then just ahead of that is the 2 of Jack Haley, your 2019 Supercross champion. Oh, Wilcox made a mistake on the 22. Chris Post almost got to the side of him. Carter's trying to jump past all these guys. Look at this for 10th. Great drive off the Dragon's back, and he'll get it done. So now he's got to get his teammate Wilcox here. And this is what it's like to be in this action here of MotoOption Supercross. Wilcox crossing over. Carter on his teammate. Not quite there just yet. Through the whoop section and over that big Supercross triple. Down the inside, and it looks like Wilcox just let him have it. Wilcox is not in this 450 title fight as he's been racing in the 250 West division. So, of course, to help his teammate make the main event at all costs, as now he gets put on the ground as well by Chris Post. Doesn't want to be a hindrance. Oh, Hubbard just laid it down with the lead, and that allows Eagland by. Hubbard got the Dragons back all wrong right there. Went through the front door, and that allows Eagland into the race lead. Seth Shirley, another rider. So it looks like him and Nygren both jumped ship from atom.com to Boots House at the same time. I wonder if that was both of them just deciding to jump over to this new team in conjunction with each other. Of course, Seth Shirley, he is also in the thick of the championship fight in that 250 West division, so moving up to race some 450s on the East Coast. So we'll see him out here on the four-banger for the next 5 or so weeks. Looking good right now in 3rd place. T-Lang has clawed all the way up to 4th place. Solid effort there for the 5. And Rasmus Balzer, another 250 West guy, in 5th place now. Matt Cromie 6th, Magnetti 7th, Haley 8th, and Carter's still running 9th. They'll go, or excuse me, he is 8th now. So who did they just go by? Rider down. Oh, yeah, Carter is 9th. Timing and scoring glitching there for me. Look at this, through the whoops off the Dragons back. Carter going to go for 2 for 1 on Magnetti. Gets it done as well. Whew, what a pass by the champ. Oh, and then he shorts the finish line jump and goes down. This is actually going to be real troublesome. Chris Post is going to go by for the final transfer spot, as does Ash Deering and Bob Joe for 10th and 11th respectively. So Carter slips back to 12th again. And although he just ran a 49.9, he's got some work to do. Time has now expired, so white flag is going to come out this time by for our race leader. And Carter is trying to not take the red plate with him to the LCQ. Rider down, that's Post, and Carter's down. That might be all she wrote right there, folks. Oh, not what he needed tonight at all. Things still have an opportunity to get a little wild now with Bob Joe in the final transfer spot. This is going to be very interesting to see the red plate holder and defending champion have to go to the LCQ. Meanwhile, back to this man, 13 points down to Leclerc in the championship. Leclerc is going to the line 16th tonight, and we don't even know if Carter's going to the main just yet. So Eagland is going to bring this one home and win this heat race and put himself in a prime position to get a good start and try to win tonight's main event, claw some points back in this championship hunt. So Colby Eagland, the number 24, Panini Motorsports machine, gets it done in 450 Heat 2. Hubbard in 2nd, Shirley 3rd, Lang 4th, and Magnetti up to 5th. Jack Haley 6th, Matt Cromie 7th, Rasmus Balzer 8th, and Bob Joe looks like he is going to retain 9th. One more corner for the 91 machine. And he will indeed go through to the main event. Wilcox and Braden Carter going to the LCQ. Yeah, I'll need to change it around and say that Carter's the current points leader if that happens. You're right, Lackland. All right, Ash Deering ended up in 12th. Seth Crotty, Chris Post, Daniel Mills, Tanner Thorson, Chase Donovan, Alex Heckman, Dylan Copeland, and Peter Like will also go to that last chance qualifier, but that is the big story right there. Braden Carter. Wow. LCQ bound. Cuts are in and everything stays the same. Colby Eagland, your big winner here in 450, heat number 2. All right, 250 LCQ coming up next. Just real quick, shoot a text off here. Apologies for the unprofessionalness on air here. Just real riveting stuff watching me text, I'm sure. But yeah, LCQ time. So only 4 riders go through the main event for these next races. They're going to go 5 minutes plus a lap, and there's 22 guys on the gate. So there's going to be 18 people going home unhappy in both the 250 East and that 450 class coming up here in just a moment. Let's see what's going on in chat. What am I missing out on? People asking Rotomoto, what's the news on Jet Reynolds? Had a crash not long ago, and he wishes he had more time before first race. Yeah, so Jet Reynolds, I don't know why they never announced it, but he broke his pelvis in December. Don't know why they didn't ever say that officially. I guess maybe because they didn't want people to know that, but as far as I know it, he hasn't ridden much. So take that for what it's worth. What's up, Austin? How are you? What's my opinion on Triumph getting into motocross and supercross? I think it's awesome. We're going to have Triumph. Beta should be here next year. People seemingly are like on the fence about the Stark Varg and electric bikes and stuff like that, but I think it's awesome to have all these different options available to us. I think it'd be awesome to have like an electric supercross, an ESX or whatever at some point for the e-bikes. And then if Beta and Triumph both make it into supercross, we'll have 9 different manufacturers and all of them having some level of like factory support would be awesome. You know, we have Husqvarna, KTM, and Gas all have factory teams. Suzuki doesn't really have a factory team, but they have Twisted Tea, which they're providing factory parts to. Yamaha has a factory team, Honda has a factory team, Kawasaki has a factory team. So there's 6 factory teams. Beta is supposed to be coming with a factory program, and then Triumph will be as well. So you're going to have like 8 full-blown factory teams, and that's awesome because it just means more rides and more money being funneled back into the athletes of the sport. So I think it's all a good thing, personally speaking. Do you remember a guy who raced in 2018 named Jake Fisher? Yeah, absolutely. And Sim, yeah, Jake Fisher. Rings a bell. Why do pro always hide their injuries? I don't get it. Well, the problem that we have in motocross and supercross is there's no union. There's no riders union or teams union or anything like that. So there's no collective bargaining agreement or anything along those lines that's ever signed between the rights holders and the riders to disclose this stuff. And there's betting in like the NFL and baseball and stuff like that. So they need to disclose injuries. Like it's literally in contract that they have to. Riders don't have to do that in supercross because it's not in contract. Anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later. I got to switch cameras to the live screen. I totally forgot that, but here we go. 250 LCQ is underway. Who's going to get that all-important hole shot? Braden Tharp down the inside is going to get his nose out there first, but he's going down into the second corner, and that'll cause a huge pileup. Several riders coming in. It's absolute mayhem in the second corner here at Minneapolis, but Caden Speck gets away clean at the front of the field. Lane Wofford moves into second place on the number 27 Boots House Yamaha. Noah McLaughlin up to third with Reno Brennan in fourth place. Brennan down, though, off of the Dragon's back, and Austin Bear moves into the final transfer spot, gets hung up in the corner a little bit, and one of the riders behind him tips over. So Austin Bear through the whoops on the first lap is in the final transfer spot as we run. We'll see whether these guys behind him can get in the mix. It's Talon Zollers right there behind him. Look at this. Zollers up the inside. Oh, what a cut under by Bear, but Zollers has the spot for the time being, side by side in the next section. And here comes the 35 of Seth Carr trying to make it a 2-for-1, and he'll get them both into fourth place. What a pass by Seth Carr. Let's see if Austin Bear can make the pass back on the 70. He's going to swing outside, try to get a drive into this Dragon's Back section. Pretty good run, though, for Seth Carr out of the inside. I thought it would be a little worse than that. So Carr now kind of sprinting away a little bit there in fourth place, closing up on the riders ahead of him. It's Noah McLaughlin just ahead of him. Caden Speck with Wofford now pulling out to a little bit of a lead here. And I apologize there for the quick lapse in coverage. Just saying goodnight to my daughter. But back at it, Seth Carr, right there behind Noah McLaughlin, trying to move into third place. Outside line, don't get put on the ground, sunshine. It's the last thing you want in the LCQ. Through the whoops they go. Look at this. Carr got a great drive. Woo, someone got a little bit frisky there in the background on a Yamaha. That is Braden Tharp. He is trying to make a pass on teammate Austin Bear. Both these guys in 5th and 6th are currently outside looking in. They try to get up to Seth Carr. Maybe they just tail Seth Carr and all get around McLaughlin, but then still someone's going home unhappy. I don't know. It's about to get real fun here in this 250 LCQ. Look at McLaughlin, though. He got the 333 very clean, and Tharp got around Bear. Bear went down. Oh, Carr off the track. Seth Carr off the track, gets back on right beside Tharp, but Tharp's going to go to the final transfer spot for the time being. Let's see if Carr tries to shoot down the inside before the finish line jump. No, not quite. Oh, Seth Carr. Whew. Rear end kicking out through that whoop section. So still Wofford from Spec, McLaughlin, and then this Tharp versus Carr battle that we have on screen right now. Oh, Tharp down! Oh, we got the on-off all wrong. Elliot Person goes by into 5th spot, but Seth Carr is in a prime position right here if he can hold it. And it looks like Tharp may have also taken teammate Austin Bear down with him. Here we go, off the Dragon's back. Seth Carr down the inside of McLaughlin. Gets the pass done for 3rd place. So crucially, that puts McLaughlin on the 124 machine back into the battle for the final transfer spot, with Elliot Person trying to close in from behind on the iSpec 184. Behind that, it is almost nobody, so really comes down to whether or not Elliot Person can make something happen here. McLaughlin a little short on the on-off there, but corralled it together nicely. Elliot Person is closing up a little bit here. Let's see if our leaders are going to get the white flag. They most likely will. Yeah, time is about to expire right now, actually. So time just expired. Lane Wofford will pick up the white flag this time by. So 27 machine checks in out front. 1 lap to go. Spec in 2nd. Seth Carr in 3rd. Elliot Person just got around McLaughlin on the Dragon's back for 4th. 1 lap to go. If McLaughlin wants to go to the first main event of the year, he has got to make it happen and get around Elliot Person. Through the whoops, Person hopping a little bit. McLaughlin with a great drive. Let's see. Oh, got over the triple smooth as butter. I think it's going to come after this section right here if he can get through this section clean. And he did. Let's see if he goes on off to the inside here. Electing to just back into the challenge again. Look at this. The corner after this triple up the inside. Block pass and takes Elliot Person down. Noah McLaughlin gets it done. He's just got to double through this section and not go down. Person gets up. He's going to try to fight back, but McLaughlin, as long as he doesn't go down on the Dragon's back, which has been a trouble area for him, Seth Carr is down. Elliot Person is going to try to get Seth Carr, who's rolling up the Dragon's back right now. Here comes Person over the Dragon's back into the last corner on Seth Carr. Not close enough in the end. He's just going to miss out by 0.2 of a second as Seth Carr goes to the main event. We'll have to wait for cuts, no question about it. McLaughlin made it through, Spec made it through, and Wofford got the dub. But we will wait for sure for those cuts to come in because 0.2 is almost nothing at the end of the day to see who made it in. Cole Gress, Johnny Podnoy, after qualifying 5th, is going home tonight. Brett Powers, Austin Bear, Jason Stubbs, Ryan Fleming, Talon Zollers, Dale Mullins. Cuts are in. And Seth Carr is out. McLaughlin 3rd. And Elliot Person goes to the main event by 0.2 of a second himself. Unbelievably, Seth Carr had half a second of cuts, and it is going to cost him a trip to the main event tonight here at Minneapolis. Wow. So Elliot Person, that might be, is it his first career main event? Cool story right there. from on the ground being taken there by McLaughlin to squeaking in by the skin of his teeth on penalties post-race. Wow. Poor old Seth Carr, though. He is likely going to be flustered by that whole situation. So close. But it is going to be Person going through. And this man gets it done in the LCQ, though. Lane Wofford on the Boots House Yamaha. All right. Well, 250 LCQ was a lot of fun, but it is about to be get nervous time in a big way. Braden Carter, your defending champion and current points leader by a single point in this 450 championship, is going to the line in the last chance qualifier. And I'll tell you what, folks, if that 250 LCQ is any indication, it's just going to take one first turn or second turn crash for it all to be over for Carter here tonight. So he definitely has to get a whole shot. He definitely has to get out front early, try to establish a little bit of a gap. Otherwise, it is completely on after that, and a complete melee, I'm sure, will ensue. As we just kind of saw in that 250 class, it's wide open, and anybody can make it happen. Shout out to my wife, by the way, who did bring me water. So thanks to her. Going to get a little sip right now. Keep the voice fresh as long as possible, because main events are coming up and I don't want to be dry heaving a little bit. All right. Let's ask the chat right now. Do you think Braden Carter is going to the main event right now, or is he going home early? Because it's, to me, like a 50-50 chance. It all comes down to the start. Yes, Turtle Lord. I did get you cleaning the guy for fourth. Mayhem incoming indeed. Holy smokes, it's about to be nuts. No, we will probably never have a 125 Supercross class again, would be my guess. Aren't Carter binds super weird or something? What do you mean, like the controls he used? I don't know. Yeah, I got that angle of your swap in the heat race there, Trevor, from behind. I had Leclerc's on board. But I guess if I was using the cameras, I wouldn't have had anything because it would have just seen you from the side like fishtail a little bit. But yeah, you definitely caught every little bit of you swapping out right there. That was nuts. Let's see. Carter whole shot and gone from Roto. Travis says he's going home. Moto Fiend says packing his bags. Daniela Beltrao says Braden's got it. AO says easy dubs. Jalen White says main. So Daniela's in. We need to stream for some Roblox Supercross for Man Monday. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. IDAB Wright says he will pull through. IKL Cormier says he's going home. Keys to the race is good start, trusting the process, you know, not thanking your sponsors. You just can't thank them at all. Let's say Travis713 says JK Braden's got it. Lachlan Smith says he's out. Sports Goon says he wants to see Colby Eaglin with the win tonight. How about an electric bike class? That would be awesome. I agree. And Jeff Alessi says he's making the main, so we're going to find out right now whether or not that's true. Oh boy, where is Braden Carter? He's lined up 4 from the inside, so a pretty good spot, but he's got to make it through. 450 LCQ in Minneapolis. Well, his teammate Wilcox got a tremendous jump, but Carter is going to tuck right in behind him into the first corner. Little bit of bar banging, and he is not going to get the whole shot. He's about mid-pack, and his teammate Wilcox went down right away. Carter on the outside is caught up in the melee in the second corner. He's got to ride over somebody and then takes another rider down to get through, but he's actually in a pretty decent position. Going to shoot down the inside right here, not triple into the corner, taking it easy. Riders down on the outside, but I think he's actually already moved up into about 6th spot. Boy, oh boy, that was very, very interesting in the first couple of corners. Meanwhile, Chase Blakely is leading the race right here. So it's Blakely from Parks, Alec Horn, and Seth Crotty. inside of the transfer spots right now. Austin Eklund is in 5th, and Braden Carter is in 6th. So he has got his work cut out for him. He's got to make some passes, but he's got to keep calm, keep a cool head, and not get caught up in any more of the drama. It's actually very fortunate he didn't end up worse in that second turn melee, because everybody was stacked up right there. Let's see, triples out behind Eklund here. Got to be careful in these situations. Make your passes stick when you can. And this is going to be an opportunity right here to try to get into 4th, but actually Seth Crotty spoting out allows Eklund through into 4th. Carter now into 5th, and he is absolutely beside himself right now because he is just slammed between a couple guys trying to make a pass into 4th and make it into this main event. Yeah, BPC stands for Blakely Powder Coating. It's a powder coating company based out of somewhere in Oregon. I always forget the name of the town that they're up there. Happy Valley? Is that the name of it or something like that? Anyway, shout out Chase Blakely leading this LCQ, but all eyes right here on this man, Braden Carter. He's so good on this Dragon's Back. This is going to be his opportunity on Eklund. Threads the needle and gets it done. So Carter's up to 4th. But the work is not done just yet. Eklund, I'm sure, will want to fight back, but Carter has got to try to sneak away here. Maybe go after Ethan Parks ahead of him and not think about what's going on behind him. Rider off the track up ahead. It's a 59 of Alec Horn. And that's Blakely, so your leaders slip back to 4th. Carter's now up to 3rd. If he can make a couple passes and get into the lead and sneak away here, that'll be huge for him. But these guys ahead of him are no slouch. Ethan Parks on the 147, Alec Horn on the 59, leaving Carter in a tough position right here. Parks is going to short the rhythm section and lose a position. So Carter now just tucking in behind Alec Horn. Oh, Carter, 12 o'clock boy, taking the race lead while doing it though. And now he is out front. So it goes back to this battle for the final transfer spot. Eklund versus Blakely right now. So Blakely into the whoop's going to hold off Eklund for the time being. Carter still has got to stay on 2 wheels. He has not had the fortune, I guess, if you put it that way, of anybody really crashing in this lead group so far. So everybody stayed pretty tight-knit as Blakely down the inside of Parks is going to get into 3rd place. And top 6 are still pretty much a nose to tail. Behind that, it's a huge gap. So no worse than 6th for Carter at the moment. But if he crashes, he's definitely going back to 6th. So he has got to stay on 2 wheels here at all costs. Blakely and Parks kind of exchanging a nose right there. And Parks gets stood up in the corner. So Eklund goes through into 4th. Up and over that finish line jump. Eklund now stretching out a small gap there on Parks. And behind these guys, it is Seth Crotty on the 71. So like I said, top 6, still pretty much nose to tail. Carter kind of stretching it out a little bit at the front of the field here. But again, 1 crash and he's back to 6th. No doubt about it. So stick to this battle for the final transfer spot. Eklund actually closing up on Blakely now a little bit as he's going to tuck inside here at the end of the rhythm section. Go roll double. Allows Parks to kind of close back in a little bit as Blakely almost lays it down. Back up the inside. Oh, wow. Showing a little attitude there to Eklund. And Crotty also went down before the Dragon's Back, so that is going to help out Carter. As long as if one of these guys goes down, I should say, and that's going to be Blakely. Oh my gosh, he barrel rolled out of it. He's going the wrong way on the track, but he's going to rejoin. Almost tees up Parks for 4th. How the heck did he ride out of that? Well, anyway, Parks is now into 4th place. And Blakely has to go back to the drawing board. Oh, Parks almost over the bars on the triple landing. Look at this, Blakely trying to show a nose to Parks, but not quite just yet. Funnels in behind him. Lapped rider down on the side of the track right there. 2-second lead for Carter. Has established a bit of a gap on Horn. Then Eklund 5 seconds back of him, but only 7 seconds back to Blakely, who's in 5th. So again, Carter still cannot go down. Oh, Parks is doing the same thing a lap later, and he goes down, and Blakely hits him. Blakely spun around in the same section. He's going backwards on the track in the same section a lap later, and he goes down again. What? Wow. Okay, so that puts Seth Crotty into the final transfer spot, and now Carter's very safe in a position out front. But this is going to come down to Parks versus Crotty for the final transfer spot, and there's only the final lap is right now, so this comes down to these last 2 sections. Parks is short on the triplet, and he's down. That'll be it. So Carter takes the dub in the LCQ. Alec Horn finishes up in 2nd. Eklund will get 3rd. Crotty just has to make it over the Dragon's Back, and he'll be fine. And he will do so. So Seth Crotty goes to the main event after some chaos ensued. Blakely's going home tonight. Ethan Parks, boy, he was in transfer spots so long in both the heat race and LCQ, but he's going home as well. So Chase Donovan, he'll bring it home 7th. Casey Ullert in 8th. Alex Heckman will be 9th. Caleb Hall 10th. Dylan Copeland 11th. Brandon Nygren 12th. Aaron Rockefeller 13th. Dylan Smith, Jay Turner, Peter Like, Tanner Thorson, Daniel Mills, Thomas Wilcox, Chris Post, Dakota French. All not going through to the main event. So we'll wait for those cuts to come in just to confirm that Seth Crotty is going through. But talk about breathing a huge sigh of relief. This man right here is doing so at this very second. Braden Carter. All right, cuts are in, and it all stays the same. In fact, Blakely had, he had a little bit of cuts, not too much though. And yeah, Carter going to the main event. All right, let's not forget the moto timer this week. Turn that one off, and we need the 250 timer, but we'll turn that off first. And 250 main event coming up. First 250 main event of the year. Nathan Prynn, Ethan Gurst both won their heat races. But there is a lot of other guys that certainly look to factor in for the main event victory tonight. So who is it going to be? Who is going to win this first 250 East main event of the season? Tough to bet against Nathan Prynn right now, but it could be anybody's race. It depends on this start. Short start straight, someone gets a good jump. Maybe Prynn goes down the first corner. He's got to fight his way forward. We don't know, and that's why we're about to drop the gate and find out. Going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens. Again, shout out to everybody tuning in tonight. Over 420 live viewers now. 420 blaze, nice. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. And see if I miss anything in the chat. Nothing too crazy. Who do you think will win the 250 main in real life? Good question. Who the heck knows? I will pick... I'll go J-Mart. I think J-Mart gets it done this weekend. Just a random pick. Could be Jet, could be Faulkner, could be RJ, could be any of them. But sneaky suspicion that J-Mart gets it done basically at home, right? Millville, Minnesota, about an hour from Minneapolis, so home race. I'm sure he gets it done. I know. I'm trying not to forget to set the timers this time. I'm really thinking about it. It's in my head. How do I feel about the SX5 gameplay? Look, I mean, I've had a little chance to play it. I can't announce for what reason just yet, but keep a lookout on Friday. I got some cool stuff to talk about. I don't think it's that different from 4, which I know people will be disappointed about. But I will say, in the time that I have been able to play it so far, I have actually had quite a bit of fun. So, take that for what it's worth. You know, people tend to hate the game no matter what I say. But I had fun. So, I'll just leave it at that. All right. Going to the line tonight in the 250 East main event to kick off this championship. Ethan Gerst, Tanner Rogers, Jaden Wilson, Frank Jackson, John Heilman, Robert Wilson, Cade Matherly, Nick Tomasunis, Brandon Holmes, Robert Wilson, Caden Speck, Benjamin Saves, Bryce Whelan, Owen Hillman, Trevin Thompson, Trent Adams, Tristan Powell, Lane Wofford, Nathan Prin, Carson West, Noah McLaughlin, and Elliot Person, who is about to get it done. I'm gonna go back to the live screen so I don't forget. I have the timer. I have it literally, the mouse is hovering over this 250 timer, so I will not forget to set it this time. All right, Sports Goon says he's got Matherly and Eaglin for the wins tonight. Let's see, Cade Matherly, definitely a little bit of a sleeper pick. Obviously, a lot of people really enjoy his YouTube videos of late. But he's no slouch. He earned that number 38 national number this past season. Alrighty, here we go from Minneapolis. The opening round of the 250 East Championship is about to kick off here tonight. Who is going to get the whole shot? Who is going to lead all these laps? And who is going to go home as your winner tonight? I got the timer set up this time, people. So there we go. We are ready to drop the gate in Minneapolis. Round 1 of 250 East starts right now. Oh, some bar banging into the first corner. And it's going to be Nathan Prin picking up the RaceFactorGaming.com Whole Shot Award. But tripling to the inside is Jaden Wilson. Jaden Wilson takes the lead. It's going to be the 45 of Bryce Whelan moving into second place as Prin drops back to 5th. Gerst is up here. And a lot of the heavy hitters that we assumed to be out front are right up here at the sharp end of the field off the get-go. Maybe the 4 guys we really expected to be up here, aside from Tanner Rogers, I think, are all out at the front. So green flag waves. It's Jaden Wilson leading at the end of lap 1. Bryce Whelan 2nd, Gerst 3rd, Prin 4th, and Carson West rounding out your top 5. So where will the early battle establish? Will Wilson have to deal with pressure from Whelan? Will Gerst catch them both? Will Prin get into the mix? Everybody going to try to settle in early and try to find a pace. Again, we go 15 minutes plus that single lap at the end of this. The timer counting down in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Green flag is out as denoted by the marker in the upper right-hand corner as well. And a mistake for Whelan's going to allow Gerst through into second place. And where did Jaden Wilson just go? Jaden Wilson down after the triple at the far end of the stadium has lost the lead. Gerst goes to the front. So Gerst leads from Whelan and Prin at the end of lap number 2 in a 3-rider battle out front in Minneapolis. In and out of the whoops we go, up and over that Supercross triple. Nathan Prin trying to slice and dice his way through these two. Look at this, inside move again for the 12. Get that double triple, carry momentum across the start straight. It's sneaky. It's a good line. They're all chasing Ethan Gerst. Halfway through this lap, though. Let's see. Prin thought he might make a move there on Whelan, but elects to go outside and try to triple in. They both short the triple hard, and Whelan goes over the bars. Carson West shoots by for second place. Gerst opens up a little bit more of a lead, but West now finds his way there on the 486 machine into P2, and Carson West, kind of a sneaky ride here in the heat race, has found his way into second place in the main event as well. Kind of hopping through the whoops a little bit, as is Prin. I think these 250 guys... Oh, West down on the triple landing, as does Prin. Prin cased the triple and has a legs off crash. He is going to remount in 7th place, it looks like, behind Lane Watford on the 27th, still going inside 2-3 there. And yeah, it is 7th place, just ahead of Bryce Whelan. So Whelan, who also went down, slips back here. Jaden Wilson just off the front of this group. And do we have a new leader? We do. Carson West. And it's momentarily lived as he goes down. Now Gerst goes through. Elliott Person from the LCQ, the last guy to make it in out of the LCQs, battling for the lead. He made it in on cuts, and he's leading the main event in Minneapolis. Talk about a turn of fortunes. Elliott Person leading a lap here and trying to hold on from the pressure from behind out of Gerst. Boy, this 250 main event is kind of all over the place. So Person leads. Gerst is going to try to make a quick pass if he can. Our heat race winner earlier tonight on that 29 Panini Motorsports Yamaha. Not wanting to wait too long here behind Elliott Person. Person's riding well. Looks like he's really figured it out after that LCQ. Getting that rhythm section very clean. Gerst just made a big mistake, so Person's going to open up a little bit of a breathing room situation now as well, and the battle for kind of third on back is starting to brew. It's Tomic now back in third place with West going down in fourth just ahead of Prin, who front flips the Dragons back and stays up. I can't seem to select him, but there he is, Prin. I don't know how the heck he rode out of that situation. Wofford, Wilson saves Whelan, West, and Thompson inside the top 10 right now. Back to our leader, Person, starting to slip back to Gerst again. Elliott Person now tripling in this time, so feeling comfortable going 2 in or 3 in, it seems like, for the 184 I-Spec Honda rider. Tripling at the far end of the stadium as well. Ethan Gerst. Not so clean on the Dragon's back. Tomic looking very solid on it. Still really tough to figure out what's going on in this 250 East Division. Prin looks so dominant in his heat race. Person just jumped off the track after the Supercross triple. You're also talking about Gerst in his heat race. He looked very strong, but it's not really translating to race pace just yet, it seems like. Everybody's still trying to feel it out, and no one's really going all that fast just yet. How about this, though? If Elliott Person goes from... He was not going to make the main event without penalties. Penalties got him into this main event. He was literally 5th over the line in the LCQ. Now he's leading the race in Minneapolis, and gosh, I mean, as good as he's looked in the last few laps here, it's not out of the question that he leaves here as your winner and a red plate holder. From not even making the main to getting the red plate would be incredible. I don't think I've ever seen that. But Gerst is certainly right there. We have lost Nathan Prin. Nathan Prin has fallen off this battle. He's back behind Robert Wilson now. Wilson moves up to 4th place. And here comes Prin trying to pull up alongside of him. Dualies, but contact. And they're both going to go down as expected. Prin got a little bit better drive right there. So Carson West goes by and Brandon Holmes goes by as now these two finally pick each other up off the ground. Sliding through there is the 89 of Benjamin Saves. And I think that might have been Jaden Wilson who just crashed again. Battle for second. Tomic on the Dragon's back, got it very good. Trying to get around Gerst, but not a spot there just yet that he can make it happen. Let's go on board with Tyron Tomic, the Australian, on this Connect Visual Suzuki. As he's got the 2 race leaders right in front of him. Ethan Gerst and Elliott Person. Look at Tomic. He's checking up and doing this 2-3 line. Oh, Gerst down out of 2nd place. So Tomic now moves into P2. Gerst is off the bike as well, losing a lot of time. So our leaders are about to have quite a gap established ahead of the rest of the field. Well, what's going to happen is because the field is still pretty bunched together aside from our leaders, whenever Person, Tomic, Gerst, whoever's leading the race gets to the tail end of the field, they're just going to be in lap traffic for the rest of the race because it is still pretty nose to tail back there. In fact, let's give you guys a quick run through the field. Brought to you by R Jerky. Head over to eatrjerky.com. Use the code SYS20 for 20% off your order and help support the Wageman brothers. I'm sure Robbie Waitchman has helped your fantasy team this year, so please go buy some R jerky and help yourself to some delicious beef jerky. Elliott Person, the I-Spec number 184, leads the main event from Tyron Tomic on number 42 Connect Visual Suzuki. Third for Ethan Gerst on the Panini Motorsports, number 29. Fourth now Nathan Print, Underground RC number 12, And fifth for Brandon Holmes on the Undefined Lifestyle number 41. Sixth is Robert Wilson on the 46 BPC Cowie. Seventh for Frank Jackson. Maybe not for long. No, he's still there. So seventh for Frank Jackson. Hashtag 4JA. That's, of course, Jonathan Alexander, who passed away, unfortunately, at the end of last year. Number 32 Machine runs 7th. 8th for Carson West, I-Spec 486. 9th for Bryce Whelan on the 45 Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda. And 10th for Caden Speck on the Adept Creative Co., number 41. Benjamin Saves 11th. Wofford 12th. Rogers 13th. Hillman 14th. Tomasunis is in 15th. Jaden Wilson 16th. Cade Matherly 17th. Tristan Powell 18th. Trent Adams 19th. John Heilman 20th. Noah McLaughlin 21st. And Trevin Thompson brings up the caboose. And it's all brought to you, of course, by R Jerky. Well, Elliott Person, starting to get to crunch time a little bit here. We are creeping up on the 5-minute to go mark of this race. He has still got the lead. He's still running consistent lap times. Tyron Tomic not really munching that lead down too much. So 54.5 Tomic, 54.3 Person. So he actually extended it out by a couple tenths last time by, a 2.4 second advantage right now. But as mentioned, lap traffic about to become a big factor in this fight for the lead. You can see 4 of those guys right there ahead of Person in the straightaway he's coming into right now. You can see that's McLaughlin on the 124. He's trying to get her by. That was Cade Matherly laid down in the corner. Person electing a double, triple through here. Hey, shout out Kino. 20 New Zealand dollars. Love your vids, Kellen. It's 5 p.m. here in New Zealand. Keep up the awesome work. 5 p.m., really? It's 8 p.m. on the west coast of the U.S. and it's 5 p.m. in New Zealand? Wow. I didn't realize there was only a 3-hour time difference. I guess maybe that makes sense because you guys are right on the Hawaii line, but also a different date. I'm confusion. Anyway, shout out for the $20. Thanks so much. Elliott Person continues to lead here, and we are down to just about 4 minutes to go. And still now almost no pressure from behind. Tomic has lost a lot of time, and Gersh just went down again in third. It is really down to Tomic versus Elliott Person for the win here tonight in Minneapolis. And Person is looking smooth as butter up front in this race. Methodically working his way through lap traffic, not taking too many risks. Up and over that finish line jump. And I'm sure the palms are starting to get a little bit sweaty as Person realizes the situation he's in. Has to go 2-3 right there. A little short on the triple landing. He's getting pushed right now by the 44 machine on that Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda. But he's just trying to work through this lap traffic. And Tomic just went down again. So the gap now is massive. And Tomic, another mistake. Elliott Person has a gigantic lead right now. Almost 20 seconds in this race. It is all coming together for the I-Spec 184 machine, who finished 5th in the LCQ and got in on penalties. I don't think I have ever seen this before. I mean, I've definitely seen a couple people get in from the LCQ on cuts. I've never seen someone win a main event after getting in from the LCQ on penalties. Like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Down to just 2 minutes left to go. Time is winding down. Gap is staying pretty steady. This is about to be a little hair-raising, though. There's 3 riders side by side battling it out ahead of Person here. Laying down a 54-1 this time by. 18-second gap still. He has got this thing if he can just hold on, but that's what I'm talking about. This chaos, these guys going down ahead of him. It's going to jump over top of him, so fortunate not to get involved in the melee right there. And now has a little bit of breathing room, so it doesn't have to force the issue and triple through here. Yeah, this is very much like the DC Shoes Refuse to Lose thing, but the DC Shoes Refuse to Lose LCQ challenge, I believe they paid 10 grand to whoever won the LCQ and then went on to win the main event, because it was what Jeremy McGrath had did like 2 decades before that. I think sometime in like 94, 95 on a Honda he did it. I've never seen this though. This dude finished 5th in the LCQ and he's going to win the main event tonight. Unless a disaster happens with under a minute to go here and a single lap. Tomic still holding on to 2nd place. Prin has fought his way up into 3rd. Robert Wilson 4th. Brandon Holmes in 5th. Whelan 6th. Gerst has slipped all the way back to 7th. It's going to be 8th now as Tanner Rogers slides through. Lane Wofford is 9th. And Carson West rounds out our top 10. So the iSpec teammates bookending the top 10 as we run. "14-second gap still for Elliott Person, so he could still have a legs off crash and easily win this main event. That is such a nice feeling. Like, you ride so much more relaxed when you have a gap like this established for you. He's not going for the big lines. He's not tripling anything. And because he didn't run a very solid lap this time by, he's actually going to grab the white flag this time by. So here it is. White flag will be waving. Elliott Person trying to pick up his first career main event victory and kick off this 250 East Championship with the upset of all upsets in this 250 class. Boy, oh boy. He was 30 minutes ago thinking he wasn't even racing this main event. 5th in the LCQ, literally only gets in based on a penalty from another rider. So lines up with the dead last gate pick all the way on the outside, survives the early race melee, and is now in a position to win the opening round of the championship and carry the red plate into round 2 next week at Dallas. Unbelievable. Well, if you didn't know his name before tonight, I'd get to knowing his name right now. Welcome home, your winner, first main event of the year. Elliott Person wins Minneapolis. Tyron Tomic is going to pick up 2nd place with a 9-second advantage in the end, and Prin will take home 3rd. Robert Wilson brings home a P4 for BPC. And Brandon Holmes will round out our top 5 here at the opening round. Ethan Gerst will take home 6th spot. Carson West will be 7th. Tanner Rogers will be 8th. Bryce Whelan battling with Jaden Wilson, Owen Hillman, and a bunch of other dudes. So Thomas Sunis ends up 9th. Hillman, Whelan, Wilson behind that in 12th. Heilman will come across in 13th. Wofford going to pick up 14th here. Frank Jackson in 15th, disconnects right away. He's obviously frustrated. Benjamin Saves, last guy there on the lead lap, will be 16th. Speck, Matherly, McLaughlin, Powell, Adams, Thompson was the rest of the runners in the main event as we wait for cuts to come through. A little bit of cuts there out of Person, but not enough to cost him the win. Elliott Person is your winner here tonight in Minneapolis. Unbelievable. Gosh. Wow. I don't even really know what to say after that. That is maybe the biggest upset victory I've seen in MotoOption Supercross in a long time. If you tell me the guy that literally got 5th place in the LCQ is going to win the main event tonight, I don't know that I would have put any money down on it. But hey, Elliott Person proving us all wrong and showing why that consistent speed that he had at the end of the LCQ was worth it. In fact, if you remember back, he actually got put on the ground for the final transfer spot of the LCQ by Noah McLaughlin, and McLaughlin gets 19th place in this main event. So there's two guys that 40 minutes ago were making contact trying to fight for the last spot in the main event, and one of them wins and the other one finishes 19th tonight. I just can't even believe it. That's crazy. Crazy stuff. Oh my goodness. All right, well, still don't really know how to react to that, but I do know that we have the 450 main event coming up next. 7th round of MotoOption Supercross. Hey, Colby Eagland, he won his heat race tonight. He's looking strong. Nick Sellen won the other heat race. He's looking strong as well. Leclerc, not looking that great. 8th in his heat race. And then Braden Carter doesn't even make it out of the heat race, has to go to the LCQ, fight his way in through that last chance qualifier. He did win it. Did look fairly good doing so. But still, he is going to line up outside on the gate, as will Leclerc. They're both going to have to get good jumps from the outside of the starting gate on a very short start straight. It is going to be tough, but if it's anybody that can do it, I would say those two will definitely come into the first corner side by side on the outside, and going to be fun to watch. But Eagland, he'd like to try to get another win here tonight, claw some points back in the championship. We know Payson Johnson's doing big boy lines. Tyler Lang's looking for his first win of the year. Man, just so many storylines in this 450 class to try to keep track of, and it's all about to kick off right here. Live on Starter Systems. So hopefully you guys have grabbed your favorite beverage, a nice snack, and you're kicking back in your desk chair or watching it on the big screen. Whatever it is you're doing, strap in, because round 7 of MotoOption Supercross is coming at you right after this parade lap as we get loaded in. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in again. Still at, looks like 424 live viewers right now, so thanks so much. And, yeah, you just watched an incredible 250 main event. I'll definitely try to get more first-person stuff in Grosso, so won't forget. All right, Lachlan Smith says Leclerc for the dub. Well, there is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Alexis Leclerc. Hitting the Supercross triple. Rasmus Balzer, Leclerc, Seth Crotty, Nick Sellen, Jeremy Smith, Luke Sullivan, Casey Cochran, Matthias Janis, Seth Shirley, Austin Eklund, Alec Horn, Bob Joe, Adam Holm, Colby Eagland, Jack Haley, Payson Johnson, Luke Magnetti, Tyler Lang, and Braden Carter didn't load in time, so he is going to have to reload on this parade lap here. Man, I don't know. I don't really have much time to do a vlog at the races. I'm usually pretty busy when I go for Racer X. Definitely Saturday. I might be able to do... I could maybe pull off a Friday vlog. We'll see. All right, let's see. What's everybody picking? Saru's got some popcorn. Oh, Kano. I'm sorry, Kano. Thanks again so much for the $20 donation. High Cap says, let's go Seth Crotty. Sportsgoon's got Eagland. Jeff Alessi's going for Casey Cochran. So the 250 West Championship leader. Hassie's got Rasmus Balzer. Hashtag Rumus on top. And Lethal says, Payson big boy lines will only work if he can keep it on 2 wheels. Jason Scott's pumped for Carter. Yeah, Fantasy Supercross for Race Factory stuff would be a lot of fun, I think. I am not very good at the coding side of it, and I don't feel like asking someone who is to do it because it'll probably be long and tedious. But, I mean, hey, if people would pay, if you would pay, I don't know, whatever, $10 for a season pass, would you pay to do Fantasy MX Simulator Supercross? I mean, it's such a crapshoot because, like, no one really knows with any of these riders. But, hey, if you guys would, I mean, I would be up for it. Your call. All right. There we go. Get the timer up. Bam. Got it. So Carter, he is going to be way outside. Leclerc's only a couple inside of him. Who's going to get the all-important hole shot? Round 7 in Minneapolis right now. Let's see from the outside as they swoop in. Leclerc will get there from the outside, but he had to run very deep. Jeremy Smith picks up the RaceFactoryGaming.com Hole Shot Award. Payson Johnson settles into second place right behind him, but it's the number 4 out front in Minneapolis. Johnson has to check up. Coming into the corner, it is Cochran. Moving into that third place, or is it Magnetti? It is Magnetti, on the 19, as Johnson tries to go to the lead on Smith. The number 4 SYS Racing Heckman Productions Honda leads lap number 1, but it's Johnson right behind him trying to take the lead away from him. Smith slides out. Johnson has to check up in the corner. Kind of a good strategy by Smith because Johnson couldn't get a great run in the whoops as Holm got sideways in the whoops. He had to check up and double the triple in the background. I think he got landed on as well. But the battle out front is hot and heavy. Here's Johnson down the inside on the on-offs for the race lead. And he's got it, but Smith cuts back underneath with great racecraft. So Smith continues to lead. Johnson right behind him. Magnetti, Lang right up at the front. Where are Leclerc, Carter, and Eagland? Look at this. Johnson going to try to go inside to make the pass on Smith. Smith triples from the outside. Back to the lead. Oh, Jeremy Smith, you sly dog. The racecraft is incredible. Hey, real life pro. Sometimes they just know. They just know how to race these guys a little bit better. Jeremy Smith has won more races in this game as a professional than anybody else. 56 wins between 250 Supercross, Motocross, and 450 Supercross and Motocross. He knows how to get these things done. Let's see how long he can hold on for, though, because the pressure from behind out of Johnson is immense. Johnson launching out on the start straight again, trying to get something lined up. But again, Smith will control the inside into this corner. And looking solid in and out of this corner again. So Johnson, let's see. Goes for triple, pulling up alongside. Smith went a little long. Not going to be able to get the triple here, so he'll go double single. Johnson trying to get the lead from him. Takes it away. There it is. Now Payson Johnson has got the lead, and Jeremy Smith is going to try to hold on for second as Magnetti closes in. Leclerc's right at the back of this group. Jack Haley, 2019 champ and the 2018 champ of Leclerc right in this mix. The 2021 outdoor champion Tyler Lang, he's right up here as well. Looks like Eagland 11th, trying to get a spot on Carter. But this front train is absolutely ridiculous right now. Smith still in second. Look at Lang trying to maybe make a pass on Magnetti. Shows him a wheel, bar to bar. Is Johnson quadding here yet? Nah, casing triple in. So Magnetti holding right there behind Jeremy Smith. Smith is not letting Johnson go that much. Leclerc with a peek on the inside trying to pass both of these guys, but they jump over top of him. Leclerc had to come to a stop to not get landed on. So Carter 9th. It is Nick Sellen behind these guys as everybody's still battling. Smith a little sideways in the whoops. Up and over that Supercross triple there just ahead of Magnetti. Johnson starting to lurch out front just a little bit more. But we've seen in the past, remember, Johnson had a massive lead, at Anaheim 2 and blew it. Got a little wayward coming into the corner right there. So triple in, not going for the quad. So just not really willing to go to that point just yet. Maybe if these guys start catching him a little bit. Oh, Johnson, a mistake. This is Smith's opportunity. He'll jump back over, tire taps Johnson's head, and goes back to the race lead. 6 riders nose to tail out front in Minneapolis. Oh, boy. So Smith back to the front. Johnson, fortunate not to have a legs off, but he was sideways in the middle of the track. Smith, oh, Lang almost teed up Johnson as he cut down in the corner, and he'll get going behind all these guys. Smith outside, triple, double across the start straight. Look at Johnson trying to get the drive to the inside in this corner for the lead again. And some contact, and he puts Smith down. So finally, Johnson moves Jeremy Smith out of the way. Magnetti's trying to go to the lead on Johnson, but he'll just settle in behind the 51. Haley and Leclerc are still back there with Lang. And Carter's starting to get in the mix as well. Oh, man. I thought Leclerc was going to square up Haley, but then he cased the jump and went down. Leclerc short and off the bike. There goes Carter through. Here comes Cochran. And Jeremy Smith now back there with those guys. As Johnson leads with Magnetti and Haley in tow now behind those guys. Oh my goodness, the race is incredible. Johnson a little bit wide after the Supercross triple. Look at this, Jack Haley, best we've seen of the 2019 champ so far this year, really in a while. Could he be knocking on the door for his first main event win of 2022? Tyler Lang, he's trying to get in there and win a race. Nick Sellen, Braden Carter. Boy, this race is incredible. And we still have 14 minutes left. MotoOption Supercross. Catch the fever. The racing is intense. And the battle for second is about to get a little bit more intense with Haley closing up, but he shorts the triple again. So Johnson trying to stretch it back out just a little bit again. Everybody railing through that corner. Let's go on board with T-Lang. 50.7 last time by. He's kind of hung right with these guys. Not really made any big moves on anybody just yet. Waited for the mistakes to come and moved his way into fourth. Is that another mistake out of Johnson? Oh, it was! And into the back of him and down Magnetti. So Johnson blew the corner at the end of the rhythm section again. Almost caused Smith to go down earlier. This time does cause Magnetti to go down. I don't think Jack Haley's willing to wait anymore. I think when the opportunity comes, he's going to try to pass Payson Johnson because Johnson is sketchy balls, and he goes down before the triple. Lang somehow avoids the flipping Payson Johnson, and Carter is suddenly onto the podium, but he just slid out. Carter just slid out coming onto the start straight. So Nick Sellen is going to go back by the number one machine and into third place. And Carter slips back to fourth now, just ahead of Leclerc. Where is Eagland? There's Johnson, Janis, Hubbard, Smith, Holm, Eagland way back here getting around Adam Holm now, up into 11th. So Jack Haley leads the race here in Minneapolis. It's been almost a whole year since Jack Haley led a main event in MotoOption Supercross, and he looks real comfortable doing so yet again. But Lang is coming. And finally, T-Lang, that 2022 Outdoor Championship, starting to show up a little bit here for the 5. We're starting to see what we saw in the Nationals from the Underground RC Suzuki rider. Looks like Carter just got around Nick Sellen for third. Now Leclerc will try to do the same for fourth. Let's see inside here. Nope. Not quite yet. Johnson's still just behind these guys. Look at this. Leclerc likes this inside, but just doesn't set him up very well for this corner, but then jumps to the inside and makes contact with Sellen, and Sellen goes down. So Johnson goes by, Magnetti goes by, and Sellen will now remount in 7th. So there's a clear path now between Carter and Leclerc, as Carter got a little sideways there in the whoops. But Carter, I think, is more concerned about the 5-second gap ahead of him and closing up. Oh, his Lang just went down. Excuse me, Lang went down opposite side of the track. He'll have to rejoin. They're just ahead of Magnetti by the looks of it. But Magnetti will squeak through as well. And now Leclerc gets put on the ground by Payson Johnson. So Haley leads this main event, and I think is content at this point with letting the chaos behind him unfold as we approach the halfway point of this one. Haley's lap time at a 51.2, 50.2 his best. A 50.2 last time through for Carter, a 49.9 his best. A 50.4 for Johnson, a 50.3 is his best. A 50 flat for Lang, but a 101.7 after his crash. And here's Leclerc back behind Magnetti in 6th now. So Haley actually hasn't looked good all year, just straight up honesty. But looks like he might be the fastest rider on the track right now, which is kind of gnarly, aside from Carter's last lap. But then he cased the finish line jump, so he'll lose a little bit of ground. 5.4 second lead for the 2019 champion. The number 2 Jack Daniels Racing Honda is out front again, and kind of like our 250 winner Elliott Person, I would say this is a bit off the wall, because Haley admitted coming into the season he just wasn't taking the game as serious anymore. He wasn't trying to put in the time to battle for a championship or try to, maybe win races. Do so when he can, but, as they come, not really trying to force the issue and ride every single day and put the time in. And as such, usually when guys do that, as we've seen with many top talent riders throughout this game's history, if you look at Hunter Root or Tyson Fresquez or Zach Dupuis or any of those guys throughout the years, the second they really stop putting that effort into this game is when the downfall begins. So for Haley to say all that stuff at the beginning of the year and then still come out right now and lead past the halfway point of the main event here in Minneapolis, I feel like that's kind of a big deal. So Haley leads. Carter still in second. Gap coming down. 49.8 last time through for Carter. 4.4 second gap now up to Haley. And Carter, are we about to see two people from the LCQ win the main events? That has got to be a never been done before. That would be ridiculous as T Burns joins the track right in front of Carter, but he was not going to have the blue flag until about now, so he'll likely move out of the way here in just a second. Or will he? Is he going to hold these guys up a little bit? Yeah, Burns not moving, trying to pass Balzer back, it looks like. And Carter just can't get around these guys. So it's kind of stifled his charge a little bit here. 49.9 last time through for the champ. And these guys certainly have got blue flags, and now Carter misses the rut and goes down. So through goes Johnson. Is Leclerc close enough? Not quite, just not quite enough. Here's Leclerc now. Ooh, riders down. Chaos in the corner. So Leclerc and Carter both had to check up quite a bit. Trevor Burns just not being a good lapper right there. That was a little bit tough to watch. All right, so Eaglin has clawed his way up into 7th. Keeping an eye on the championship picture. He's definitely still losing points, obviously, to Carter and Leclerc in this current situation, but 7th is a lot better than where he was early in this main event, so he's still making amends for it, and there's a chance that he's going to make some more passes before this is over. T-Lang a little bit ahead of him, Magnetti in some lap traffic, then Leclerc, Carter, Johnson, and our leader Haley out front. So Johnson, let's see what Johnson's up to. 50 flat versus a 52.2. So I think that Haley's probably just kind of, dealing with that lap traffic, working through it, and is going to get through quite a bit of it now. He's going to leave 5 guys between himself and Johnson here at a 5-second gap, and that's going to be very helpful for him because now Johnson has to figure out his way through all these guys as they all battle each other. .4 to a 50.8, so not too much time gained that last time through out of Johnson. Wonder if he busts out the 3.44 in the rhythm. I don't know, maybe not with lap traffic right in front of him, I guess. Just doesn't want to even mess with that. Case is a triple in, but Silk's the next triple. Gosh, how does he even get the speed for that triple in after missing the rut? All right, 50 flat versus a 50.7, so gap coming down, but still trying to get through that lap traffic. It's Balzer, Smith, and is that maybe Cochran? Oh, Smith. He just gets right out of the way. Literally let those guys through so that Johnson could get by. Let's see if Balzer and Cochran will move aside. A couple 250 West guys facing off in the 450 class here tonight. And, oh, Nelly. That got a little close. Balzer still has not quite let Johnson through yet. And now Cochran passes Johnson. Oh, Johnson somehow didn't fall off the bike, but he looped out coming on the start straight. Here comes Carter now. Battle for second starting to kick up here with Carter closing in. Leclerc and Magnetti rounding out our top 5. Eaglin is up to 6th. Now he's gotten around Lang. So he's going to try to catch Magnetti next. But here's the battle for second. Johnson, and he's trying to get Jeremy Smith and Adam Holm right here. Put them a lap down. Scrubbing into the corner very nicely there. Carter is right behind him, though. And if Haley goes down once, these guys will suddenly be either in the lead or right on him for the lead, depending on how it all breaks down. Smith again trying to move aside. Johnson gets stood up in the corner and puts Carter to the deck. That'll allow Leclerc through right there. As Johnson backs it off the bales and keeps going, he will remount now officially in fourth. As Rasso's balls are going to get teed off the track for, Carter just trying to get by. Sometimes, honestly, back in my days when I raced, walking uphill both ways in the snow, but seriously, it just got to a point with the lappers where it was ridiculous. Like, I teed up lappers quite a bit because were just so disrespectful to the blue flag, and Carter just went down again. And you just get sick of it. Like, I know Balzer only just got the blue flag right there, but you're not leading the race. You're not battling for the race lead, so get out of the main line and move out of the way. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. I was a lapper a lot in my career, and I never caused somebody to go down as a lapper. Just silly. All right, 3 minutes left on the clock, and Jack Haley's looking like he's got this thing pretty comfortably in hand. Although in and out of the tough blocks right there is not going to help his case. So like I said, under 3 minutes to go. And we are about to have our fourth different winner, I believe, of the season. Between Leclerc, Carter, Eagland, and Jack Haley trying to put his name in the mix as well. Well, he's certainly a guy that I think coming into the season a lot of people would have expected to put on the winners list. So it's pretty easy to say now that we all expected it out of him, but as mentioned, I mean, talking to some people close to him early on in the season, they just said he's not into it anymore. And then it really seemed like that was the case the last couple weeks because he just wasn't the same Jack Haley we knew for so many years. But this is the Jack Haley that we had seen for 5-6 years as a pro leading into this season. Smart, consistent, never really makes much mistakes. Battle for third brewing. Leclerc versus Lang. Final spot on the podium. Be kind of gnarly if none of our championship contenders end up on the box tonight here in Minneapolis. And definitely looks like it's possible given the current situation. Lang down the inside of Leclerc. Wow! Aggressive with the 7 to get by for third. Tyler Lang taking no prisoners tonight. He is sick of not standing on the podium. And he'll just move Leclerc out of the way if he has to. So Lang works his way into the final podium spot with 1 minute left on the clock. 5-second gap now between Johnson and Haley. Is Johnson doing this triple quad again? Triple. Nah, shorts the second triple, but he was going 3-4-4 at one point. It will be 2 to go this time by as Haley comes through the final corner to check in again out front. So Johnson has 2 laps to try to gain 5 seconds. It's looking like a long shot, but we'll see. 49.7 versus a 51.4, so almost a 2-second gain right there last time by. If he could do a couple more of those, never quite know what could happen. Track is definitely rough though. Big deep ruts through the corners. Down to 4.9. I just want to see if Johnson's going to bust out this triple quad. I feel like he's got to do it. Nope. Didn't get the triple in clean enough, I guess. So gap remains. Lap traffic going to come into play a little bit here. Haley's down! Haley went down with the lead! Coming to the white flag, Jack Haley tips over and falls off the bike. Payson Johnson gifted the race lead as the white flag waves. Oh, Heartbreak City. Well, Johnson's got to actually get through the final lap of the race. He's been a little sketchy throughout the night. Let's see if he can hold on here. Looking good through there. He's got some pressure from Hubbard a lap down behind him. And Haley's still back there in case Johnson goes down. Wow, Haley threw this thing away so hard. Final straightaway then, or final rhythm section. Oh, Johnson short. To the outside. Casing again, and Haley's too far back to do anything about it. Wow. Talk about a gift. Payson Johnson is going to get his first win of the season here in Minneapolis. Unbelievable. Jack Haley will get second. And, yeah, that is not a happy second at all. That win was his. That win was 1,000% his for the taking. Wow, we actually have quite a bit of shifting up going on here. So Leclerc's going to get third. Lang, maybe fourth. Magnetti's trying to get there in the last turn, but just going to fall short in the end. 3/10 in it. Eagland. Oh, here we go. Carter's trying to send in the last corner. Eagland will get 6th. Carter was trying to get 7th on Selin. He'll end up 8th. But cuts could come into play. And Sullivan will get 9th. He was the last guy on the lead lap. Hubbard ahead of Cochran in 11th. Joe, Holm, Crotty, Janice, Shirley, Horn, Smith, Eklund, Burns, Balzer, Cromie was your running order. Let's take a look at cuts. And nothing changing inside of the top 10. Oh, Heartbreak City for Jack Haley. Christmas Day for Payson Johnson. And finally, the 51 machine has a race victory in 2022. Wow, what a weird ending to tonight's racing. Undescribable for sure. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight at MotoOption Supercross Round 7 of the 2022 MotoOption Supercross Championship from Minneapolis. Crazy night of racing. We almost had 2 really off-the-wall winners, but I can't say Johnson's off the wall when he qualifies fastest. But Jack Haley, I mean, dude, led so much of that main event. Almost had it. Elliott Person, first career main event victory in the 250 class out of the LCQ. Incredible scenes there. And yeah, just an all-around fun night of racing here in Minneapolis. So kicking off 250 East, that is now off and running. Round 7 of the 450 Championship, a lot of fun as well. And we're going to be back next week, same time, same place, for the Arlington Supercross and MX Simulator. Hope to see you guys then. Of course, a quick shout out to RaceFactorGaming.com and the Race Factor Gaming track crew for putting on this event and building the track. MotoOption Clothing, Race Tech Suspension, Underground RC, Phil Ski and Snowboard, Tagger Designs. Anybody else I'm forgetting? OGL Paco, MXS Lobby. Everybody involved, thanks so much for putting the series on. And of course, to my personal sponsor, R Jerky. So head over to eatrjerky.com and use the code SYS20 for 20% off your order. And thanks to all of you lovely people that tune in every single week and watch this broadcast. Hopefully you had an enjoyable night watching some racing. And I hope we see you guys next week for the Arlington Supercross and MX Simulator. So long for now.